In this video, we're going to be covering 3 utility modules. We're going to be covering mixing, phase, and azimuth. Azimuth is an advanced only module. Starting off with mixing. This module allows you to have complete control over the left and right channels of your stereo file. By default, on the left output, it's got the left set to 100% and the right to 0. And the right output has the left to 0 and the right to 100%. With these settings, it's going to give you exactly how your file should be sounding without any alterations to the left and right mix. Now let me show you what you can do with this. You could, for example, flip the channels. So flipping the left to the right and the right to the left. To do this, I'm going to take the left and drop this all the way down to 0 and the right to 100%. And likewise, the left on this channel to 100% and the right to 0. So now, if I preview this, we've got the left on the right and the right on the left. Take a listen to the hi-hats over here, then I'll bypass it, switches to the other side, then back again, and back. So that's just a simple process of how you can take this and flip things around. Maybe when you're listening to your track, you realize that you actually mix the drums the wrong way around, where you actually want to have it where you're from the audience perspective, not the drummer's perspective. This could be a simple way of doing that. You can also increase the stereo width. Under the presets here, you can see you've got an option to increase the stereo width. When you click here, if you're taking a look at the settings, the left and right are still set to 100%, but the right on the left output and the left on the right output have been pulled down slightly by -30. So taking a listen again to it before there's any stereo width, and then now previewing it with some stereo width. Bypass it. So handy trick just to push that mix out a bit more in your stereo image. So basically it's sending an inverted signal of the left and right channel output. So we're subtracting a bit of the left that's going to the right output. And likewise the same with the right output. We can also make the mix mono, so mix to mono. And with this, it makes the left and right on the left output both at 50, and likewise on the right output, the left and right are 50 there as well. So hearing it in stereo and then previewing it in mono. So basically, for the left and right on both channels, you've set them at 50, basically 50%. So they're going to the left and right of each side equally, giving you a mono signal. So that's using this mix control to control your stereo image and tweaking the relationship between the left and right on the left output and the right output. You could also do some MS or mid-side processing. I'm going to jump to the preset of MS encoder decoder. Now let's preview this. I'm going to play it back. So what it's doing here is it's pushing the mids or the center to the left side, and then to the right, you're getting sides. What you could do is you could use an MS encoder decoder to push the mids to one side and the sides to another side, and then process each one differently. So maybe you wanted to process the sides with a specific EQ, so it's only applied to that side, and also pushing the EQ on the mids. Then you can render this out and have the different processing on each channel. So as you can see, it's a very helpful tool. You can use it to change some things or inaccuracies with the mix, or test out some other things like increasing the stereo width, listening to a mix in mono, and doing some MS encoding and decoding. Now let's jump over to phase and see how this utility works. So sometimes your audio files are asymmetric and you can run into some problems with the headroom. Now using this phase module, we can rotate the phase and change the amplitude characteristics. And this will just give us some more headroom. You won't hear the difference, but it'll improve that headroom like mentioned. So for example, over here, you can see there's some peaks in this audio file. I can rotate the phase and you'll see how it will minimize these. First, I'm going to link them. Then I'm going to increase the phase slightly. Let's say by about 20. And then I'm going to render out the audio. And as you can see, it has reduced some of the area. Let's do a bit more drastic of the rotating of the phase. Let's say 50. And render that out. And now you can see how that's changed those peaks by shifting the phase. Likewise, I could do it the other way. So rotating to the other side and changing it on the phase. So that's just if you find you're running out of some headroom, you could use the phase module to rotate it to reduce those peaks hitting that amplitude peak over there. If you're not too sure what phasing to use, you can click Suggest. And this will detect the best fixed phase shift for reducing those signal peaks. So that's come back with the option of -18 to fix those peaks. Or you can even use the adaptive process so it adapts while it's going through the playback. If you want, you can also break the link between the left and right. So here they aren't linked and I can move them in different directions. Or if you want to do a simple inverted phase polarity, just link both and move them to 180. So this will do a complete phase invert if it's needed. So that's the phase module and how you can use it to reduce any peaks and increase the headroom in your mix. Now, the last module I want to go over is the azimuth. Now with azimuth, sometimes when you're working with tape and tape heads, the playback on these systems with the left and right can go out of alignment. And then you get a phase issue. And this tool can help you resolve this. It controls the balance of the left and right channel gains and delay. So basically, it'll help you improve your stereo balance and phasing issues. And like mentioned, this has often occurred when working with audio from tape. So I've taken my music balance track over here. On purpose, I've changed the level gain and delay on one of the channels. But I want to show you how you can use this plugin to help you resolve it. So if I play it back, you'll hear how there's a phasing issue. Can you hear how something feels a bit out between the left and right? So let's see if this tool can detect the changes that I've done from regards to the level and the delay between the channels. I'm going to click Suggest and see how it picks up the phased gain and delay issues. And that's got it spot on. On the right, I decreased the right gain by about 4 dB. And then on the right channel, I dropped this by about 20 dB. So I'm going to render this out. So now you can hear what it sounds like after the azimuth correction. Here it was before. And again after the azimuth correction. Yeah, so that's definitely corrected that phasing issue. You could also tick adaptive matching. So if your delay is inconsistent on the audio, you might want to tick this to make sure that it's adapting with the levels and the delays while in playback. So that's the mixing, phase, and azimuth utility tools to help you with changing the gains, levels, and mixing and delays that may be causing any phasing issue with your audio. Check you in the next video.